As collectors, whether it be of games, comics, movies, vinyls, anything, we all have our dream items, our holy grails, our items we want more than anything else and dream of one day owning. Some of us look for years, and some of us find them with no issue at all, and just get lucky. I looked for many years for mine, and as of last week, I own it. I got my dream item, the duo pack for the Gamecube. I wanted to make this video to talk about getting the item, along with what it is for the uninitiated, and to show it off on film, as it's a very scarcely documented item online. As far as I know, this will be the first video physically featuring the item. So, sometime in the early to mid 2000s, Sega released 3 2-packs for the Nintendo Gamecube. A Sonic Adventure 2-pack, a Super Monkeyball 2-pack, and a duo pack. No one really knows much about the origins of these games. Not when they are released, their MSRP, what stores they were sold at. Most people don't even know that they actually exist. Nothing. There are rumors about the specifics, but no concrete information, so I feel no need to speak upon said rumors. Both the Sonic Adventure and Super Monkeyball 2-packs are very rare, with only a few coming up for sale and selling per year, but the duo packs, they almost never go up for sale. Many people were convinced for a few years that it wasn't even a real thing. There have been 3 transactions for this duo pack this year, which is insane, because before this, there was only one recorded public sale in, well, ever as far as I can tell from my research. 2 brand new sold ones for a lot of money. And 2 people came out of the woodwork showing they had the game on collecting pages and Instagrams as soon as those ones sold. Now the reason this game sells for this much is just because of this. Those 4 copies were the only 4 confirmed to exist. There are probably more out there that we don't know about yet, and we now know that there's at least 5 since getting mine, but that's enough information to prove this item's rarity. For GameCube variant collectors, this game is the one that basically everyone is looking for. It is the holy grail for most hardcore GameCube North American collectors. The high prices these 2 sealed ones sold for are admittedly insane, but if the buyers had the money, I can't say I'm surprised it happened. These were the first 2 to go on sale on eBay ever as far as I can see, so those people took their opportunity. I didn't have that much money to blow, so sadly, I'm not the owner of one of these sealed copies, but I do now have my own copy. It's open, and it has a few small imperfections, but it's close enough to perfect to me that I couldn't care less. I love it so much. I made a friend, who I'll refer to as Buddy A. Buddy A got lucky. Real lucky. He got the game in a bundle on Facebook Marketplace for what came out to about 50 cents a game. Yeah, 50 cents for a game that recently sold twice for $6,000. He didn't even know what he had until he looked up the game when he got home. He then posted on a game collecting Facebook group, and I messaged him. We were able to work out a more than fair deal on a trade, coming in at a lot less than $6,000 worth of games I had traded for it. So, I'm extremely grateful we were able to work out a deal we were both happy with. Buddy A, if you ever see this, you're a great guy and I appreciate doing business with you. Waiting for the game to arrive was the most nerve-wracking week of my life. No offense to Buddy A, but I did not know him before this, so for all I know I could have been sent a box of rocks. It wasn't until I opened the box and actually saw the item that it felt real. I was thrilled, my dream item. Now of course the value and rarity of this game definitely factors in a lot of cool points, but the game has a lot of sentimental value for me as well. Growing up I was a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan, a huge fan of Super Monkeyball, and the GameCube has always been my favorite console even since I was a kid. Sonic Heroes was a massive game in my childhood, and as an adult, I can see its flaws much more easily now, but the game still has a lot of nostalgia for me, so it'll always have a special place in my heart. And for Super Monkeyball, that was a game I played endlessly with both of my sisters as we were growing up. We played it just as much as any of the Mario parties or Mario Karts. A combination of nostalgia, memories, and favoritism of these series all combined into why I wanted this item so badly. Not only is it a great collector's piece, but it has a lot of sentimental value to me as well. Okay, so here are the 3 Sega 2-packs for the GameCube. I wanted to point out a few things I found interesting about each of them, just because, and I also want to show a few details on them. So, this one I took out of the case. This is actually the only one that I have opened a little bit, and it's just so I could show something real quick, because the other 2 is literally, well, the Sonic is sealed, and then the Duo Pack doesn't have anything special in it, it's just the game, so it's just the box that's different. But for some reason, on the Monkey Ball one, there's this little art of II laying on a banana, and I always thought that was kind of adorable and kind of funny, because the other 2, I've seen open copies of that one, and I've opened that one myself. They both just have the white tab like this, but for some reason, just this one tab on the Monkey Ball one has this, and I thought that was kind of adorable. So I figured that was worth opening and showing up. And this is a good view for y'all of the Monkeyball 2-pack, 1 and 2. Go bananas with 90 plus stages, multiplayer madness, and 7 cool ways of playing. For Monkeyball 1 and for Monkeyball 2, 12 unbelievable party games, an all-new story mode, and over 150 new stages. Let the good times roll. And here for Sonic, something interesting about this one, and if anyone in the comments wants to correct me if I'm wrong, they can, because I'm not aware, but I'm pretty sure that this render right here in the middle of all the characters together like this, I mean, it's not a render, but this art of all of them in the middle with this exact Sonic Adventure logo, I'm pretty sure this is original art made for just this 2-pack, which is kind of weird because it's a very scarce item. It clearly wasn't produced super heavily, and it has the unique art on it, and I always thought that was kind of interesting. And in the back we can see here, battle to save the world or conquer it in Sonic Adventure 2 battle. And then down here, total chaos for Sonic Adventure DX. I also find it kind of funny that they have Sonic Adventure 2 first over 1 on the front and the back, and I think that's because Sonic Adventure 2 Battle came out first for the GameCube, but I still find that kind of odd. You'd think they would have it in order of the games chronologically, but they did it by release date, and I think that's kind of neat and interesting. And for the Duo Pack, something you may or may not have noticed is the lack of the Only 4 logo that's in the corner of the other two, and that's because I'm sure many of you already know, but Sonic Heroes is on multiple platforms, not just the GameCube, so that's kind of a funny little thing. And if you look down here, it still has the Only 4 on the Super Monkey Ball, so I thought that was kind of interesting. As far as I know, besides the actual lettering of Duo Pack, I don't think there's any original art on these. It's all just from that, but it's also kind of weird because if you look at the GameCube logo, the G outline is thinner on the Duo Pack than the other ones, and every Duo Pack that is out there has that, and I always thought that was kind of interesting. There may or may not be a few GameCube games out there that have that as well. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I always thought that was kind of interesting. And here we got Sonic Heroes join Sonic with his longtime pals Knuckles and Tails, along with 3 newly formed super teams to defeat Dr. Eggman's villainous forces. Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, or Team Chaotix. Choose a team. 14 stages, solve puzzles, and explore huge environments. Multiplayer battles let you complete in diverse minigames. Down here, call your friends and warn your neighbors. It's time to have a ball. Go bananas with 90 plus stages, multiplayer madness, and 7 cool ways to play. Equal parts party and game. Super Monkey Ball could be the most well-rounded game you've ever played. So another thing I find kind of interesting about all of these is I think it's weird, they all have very different blurbs on the back. Like, these have some descriptions. These kind of have descriptions, but it's mostly just slogans for the games, which is kind of funny. And then over here, even the setup of Sonic Heroes and Monkeyball, the way they're written out is different. And the way that it's written for Monkeyball on both of them is different, which is kind of interesting because it's the only game that's included in more than one pack. So it's kind of interesting that they wouldn't just copy and paste the same blurb from there. I also find it interesting that they did reuse Super Monkey Ball for this, because there's a few things that I think are weird. I think that is kind of weird that they did that and they didn't use something like Super Monkey Ball Adventure. I know that game isn't as highly regarded and it's not as popular, and maybe that's why they didn't do it, but most likely why they probably didn't do it is just because it's not a player's choice already, and I don't think they get to dictate what is and isn't a player's choice. So I think that they had to, if they were going to do one for Sonic Monkey Ball, they either had to reuse Monkey Ball 1 or Monkey Ball 2, just because then they wouldn't have something to match the player's choice. And still kind of weird, but a little interesting in my opinion. I think it would have been cooler if they were able to get something else, not because Adventure is a better game, but just because then each pack would have totally unique games, even though they're centered around the same series for the 3 packs. And yeah, that's a quick look and overview at the 3 2-packs for Sega on the Nintendo GameCube. So that's it. Little history and story behind me getting my personal holy grail. This is gonna sound cheesy, but if you have something you want more than anything else, don't give up. If you search long and hard enough, you're bound to come across that game or record or comic or movie you've been wanting forever. That's gonna be all. Have a good one, y'all.